Al Root at Barron's said this: Tesla stock was getting hammered after weaker than expected third quarter delivery numbers. Some believe the shortfall was due to logistics. That isn't what investors are worried about. However, they're worried about demand. Does Tesla have a demand problem? Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Welcome back, everyone else. Thanks for tuning in. And I'm just going to get straight into this. I'll tell you who has a demand problem. Xpeng has a demand problem. Come on, Xpeng. 300,000 this year. Numbers are what? Half that. That is a demand problem. Xpeng makes really good cars. They're cheaper than Tesla vehicles. I don't know what's going on there. However, does Tesla have a demand problem in comparison to, say, its direct competition? Well, of course, it depends on which country you're looking at, or the way you like to see the world. Is having the ability to decrease or raise your prices depending on how much demand you have a problem? That's essentially what Tesla does right now, right? In basically every country they sell their cars in, they simply adjust the price to reflect the demand, or to reflect their ability to produce a certain number of vehicles, and therefore they will change the price in order to sell that many vehicles. Now, an interesting article came out here which kind of proves what Tesla's demand is in the United States. It doesn't prove what it is in China, but I want to make this point first before I actually show you guys what's going on in the US market with Tesla. In the Chinese car market, when Tesla reduced the price of the base Model Y to 299,990 RMB, which makes it a very well-priced electric car. I mean, that's about 40,000 US dollars, right? And for the quality of car you're getting, that's an incredible bargain in my view. But the thing is, right, Tesla reduced that price not by a lot. It was actually a pretty small price reduction. It was only a couple of thousand, but it meant the car now qualifies for subsidies in the US. And what happened? Tesla's website crashed in China. Not many people reported on this, but it crashed because there was so many people trying to go on the website and order immediately. I think we're going to see pretty insane sales figures in China over the next 6 months. Because why? Tesla's brand in China it's insane. Why is it insane? I'll tell you exactly why it's insane. There's a lot of reasons, but here's one of the biggest reasons, right? The average number of complaints on a BYD electric car sold in China is 35. 35 complaints per car, right? Per year, 35. The average number of complaints for a Tesla vehicle sold in China is 2. Right? BYD have a very good brand name in China. Very, very good. That's why they have a backlog now of more than 500,000 vehicles in China, which is crazy. It's crazy because their competition doesn't have that, obviously, does it? But the thing is, they're getting, on some of their models, up to 41 complaints per year, per customer. Is that a satisfied customer? I don't know. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe that's okay. But the reality is, Tesla has by far the least amount of complaints for any vehicle manufacturer in China, period. And that is giving them, what is it giving them? It's giving them the best resale of any model of any car in the history of the Chinese automotive industry. In history, Tesla vehicles, in particular the Model Y, second is the Model 3. The Tesla Model Y has the best resale value of any car in history. And that's why Tesla has had to do something that pretty much only companies like Ferrari have ever done. It has been making customers sign a contract to say that they won't resell the vehicles within 12 months. The idea here is to prevent scalping, to prevent buyers from coming in, buying the cars, reselling them at a profit, which was happening all over China. I don't think you'd call that a demand problem in China. How about in the US? Do they have potentially a little demand problem in the United States market? Well, before I get to that, what about the European car market? I mean, according to some of the comments that I've been reading lately, Stellantis and Volkswagen are killing Tesla in Europe. Yeah, that is pure fantasy. It is absolute fantasy. I mean, for example, what was the best-selling model of car in September across all of Europe? all of Europe, best-selling car. You would think, right, guess what it's been for the last 10 years? It's been something like a Volkswagen Golf, an affordable car. Average sale price, average transaction price is about 20,000 US dollars pretty much every month, right? For the winning car across Europe, because that's what people buy. They buy small hatchbacks. How is it then the Tesla Model Y became the best-selling car, period, in the whole of Europe? This is an entire paradigm shift. Now, I've reported on this. You've seen this reported, I'm sure. But no one is really recognizing the fact that this is like saying someone came into Europe and the best-selling car was something that, I mean, it might as well be a spaceship. The Tesla Model Y, there's never been another vehicle in the history of the European car market where the best-selling car in Europe for a single month was a vehicle that has an average sales price of 55,000 US dollars. It's never happened. This is the first time in history. So did Tesla have a demand problem in Europe? Doesn't look like it. Let's get to the US. EvanX say they've been monitoring deliveries at Tesla for years, and that Tesla vehicle deliveries are concentrated at the end of the quarter as the electric automaker scrambles to make or beat the numbers predicted by Wall Street analysts. The reason for this is often this acts as a catalyst to increase investor confidence. In turn, the company's stock price can rise. And you think this doesn't matter, but it does. Because what happens when the company's stock price rises? Well, banks will lend you more money, you have more cash, right? There's lots of reasons. So the stock price was impacted negatively this quarter because analysts said that deliveries were less than they expected by a pretty big number. Now, the interesting thing is here, this gives us a good idea of demand in the US. At EvanX, they say we often see our own Tesla accessory sales increase at the end of a quarter because, well, that it basically aligns exactly with deliveries increasing. They say particularly if Tesla increases vehicle deliveries at the end of the quarter, that's when they get their spike in demand. New Tesla owners want to get accessories right away upon taking delivery, in much the same way as a new homeowner tends to go out and furnish their house after they move in. New car owners want to furnish their cars once they receive their cars. It's pretty common, right? You go on car forums, go on the BYD group here in Australia, and you see all these people saying, I've bought this, I bought that, I bought this for my car, now it's arrived. EvanX said, recently we saw our timeline shift back at the end of the quarter, which was aligning with Tesla's logistics-related delays. This clearly was a logistics issue for Tesla, not a demand issue. Wall Street seems confused on this topic. They don't know who to believe. They're, I would say right now, more buying into the fear of there being a demand problem. According to Al Root at Barron's, Tesla stock got hammered because of a shortfall. Investors are worried. They're worried about Tesla demand. The delivery shortfall amounted to 14,000 or 15,000 units. It's actually really, to be honest, a pretty small number. However, that's the biggest miss relative to expectations for a long time. Investors were reacting to with nervousness, according to Barron's. More than a few analysts gave the company a pass, blaming changing vehicle logistics for the miss. Tesla said it had a much higher number than usual of cars in transit at the end of the quarter, as the company transitioned even mix of vehicle builds. And based on what EvanX's sales are doing, that actually directly aligns with what they're seeing. They say they're seeing the exact same thing. As a company inside the Tesla ecosystem serving owners with aftermarket accessories, he says it's crystal clear to the company. Tesla is delivering plenty of cars. This is what he said. We're seeing the usual vehicle deliveries bump, but it's coming slightly after the end of quarter time frame. So basically what's happened at the end of this quarter is EvanX got a whole bunch of sales that happened after the end of the quarter. And I think this is what I'm saying. Rather than trying to rush deliveries out and pay more for the delivery fee, Tesla's like, well, let's make higher margins. Let's actually do this in a more structural, logical, balanced way. Let's not get staff that shouldn't be working on deliveries work on deliveries. That's stupid. Let's actually focus on operating in a smarter business way. That, in my opinion, is what Tesla's doing. I think Tesla's ability, this is the key issue to focus on, not necessarily the so-called, is there a demand issue or is there isn't? I think the key thing to focus on here is Tesla's levers. So if you're a company who can pull the supply and demand lever, depending on when you need to or you don't, that to me is the ultimate power. So Tesla has the ability, because they have by far the highest margins on their cars, to just pull demand levers. We can see Tesla's ROIC improve almost every quarter. It's now at an industry-leading 20%, beating out the former champion Toyota, which had 12% ROIC. That means Tesla's ROIC is nearly double that of Toyota's. So this past quarter, right, Tesla accounted for 21% of the US premium vehicle market. That's not EVs, that's just the premium vehicle market. The Model Y became the best-selling car in Europe and in Germany, and in, well, I reported on all the other countries where it was first place. There's quite a lot of companies, there's quite a lot of countries where it came first, and I'll put a link in the description below to that video. You got to check that out. It amazed me when I did the research to find out what was really going on in Europe. It was also the second best-selling car in the UK, the third best in Australia, the second best in New Zealand. Tesla makes 1/6 of the world's electric cars. However, here's one interesting statistic you might not be aware of. Tesla made more net profit year to date in the first 3 quarters of this year than the entire Volkswagen group. I'm not talking Volkswagen the brand, I'm talking the entire Volkswagen group of brands made in all of 2021 across 4 quarters. And that was despite selling only 1/9 the amount of cars. 1/9. In the first 3 quarters of this year, Tesla sold 1/9 the amount of cars Volkswagen sold all of last year. However, they made more net profit during that period of time. In my opinion, what matters, probably more than actual vehicle delivery numbers, is the profit and growth of the company. It's pretty clear where those numbers are trending. It's pretty clear what the answer is to the question, does Tesla have a demand problem? And the answer, my friends, is, well, Tesla currently has the power to dictate its own demand. Now, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. As always, very interested to hear what you guys have to say about this. Do you think Tesla has a demand problem? I clearly do not. But what are your facts on your opinion on this? Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.